Good morning. This is Kathy for Getting Chatty with Kathy. I want to thank you for coming on to listen to our show today. We have a wonderful guest with us. She represents a fantastic organization in our city that I am very proud to have my gifts at. Her name is Della Frey. Or is it Frey? Am I saying it correctly?
It's Frey.
Frey, sorry.
That's all right.
Della Frey. And she's here today to talk to us about what's going on at the RCMP Heritage Center and some of the neat things that are going on there over the next little while. So I will throw the ball over to you. And can you just give us a brief little intro about yourself and what led you to the RCMP Heritage Center?
For sure. Hello, everyone. I am Della Frey. I am the gift shop manager and operations manager with the RCMP Heritage Center. I have been, in Regina, I guess, since 2002. I came down at that time to run a little gift shop called the, what were we called then? The Panhandler. That was in Southland Mall. And I worked there for a couple of years, and then I moved into Staples, and I was with Staples for 17 years. And then I decided I needed a change. So I checked out a couple of things that were online and found that the Heritage Center was looking for an assistant manager for their gift shop. So I applied, and here I am now. And the funny part of it is I kind of just took it as a practice interview because I wasn't really sure where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do, and I've been on that side of the desk for quite some time as being a manager at Staples. I was the one doing the interviews. So I thought, well, what the heck, I'll take the interview, I'll take it for practice, and I fell in love with the place and felt very passionate about what they were doing and where they're trying to go, where we're trying to go now, becoming a national museum. And it all worked out that I made the move.
How long ago was that?
Just about 2 years ago now.
Oh, so that would have been an interesting time to jump in because what did you guys do during the whole closure kind of thing? Were you guys open?
The center itself did actually close through COVID, from my understanding. I wasn't there for that part, so we kind of were I joined the team just as we were coming out of COVID. So we do have a store that is on the depot side of things at the RCMP. So that store was up and operational as the cadets were still training. They were still on base. So we changed that one around to be a little bit more personalized, a little bit more like a convenience store for them. And then the Heritage Center itself was actually in a maintenance close when I started with the team. So I started February of 2022. And we kind of were rebuilding the team after COVID, bringing some new folks on board like myself. So we took some time, got a team together, started to mesh, and then opened the doors and had another official kickoff for April 1st of 2022.
That's fantastic. One of the things that I've noticed over the last little while is your presence, the RCMP Heritage presence on social media has really it's a lot more. We're seeing tons of activities going on there. Every weekend, it seems like there's something for kids to go do. It seems like it's turning into really a central hub for people to come and experience our culture and RCMP. Is that the goal?
That is. We're kind of starting to hit that stride and get everybody in place. The marketing team has done a fabulous job.
Definitely.
Getting the word out there. The community has been great about embracing us and bringing us back in, and I guess that's kind of ultimately what has happened is a lot of businesses that are within the city and that have experienced COVID and gone through it, we're reintroducing ourselves to the community and trying to get back out there, trying to make sure that people are coming back through our doors and that it's not just our tourists that are coming to see us, which is a great part of our business as well, but that we want to make sure our community is coming to the center. So we've had a passport out this summer where it was inviting the kids back, different activities throughout that we kind of themed with different things that were happening. We had Hudson Joins the musical ride, Molly in the musical ride. We did some footprints and fingerprints analysis so that you kind of were learning that as kids as far as crime scene investigation goes. And now we are into that fall season, and like everybody, we are ramping up with having some of our facility rented for different events. Our schools are joining back on. You can come in and do a in-person session, or you can do a virtual session. So we're just starting to get everything going for the fall as well as we kind of shift gears from our tourist season into our community and our school season.
So you said that you can do something virtually or come in person, a session. What's a session?
Our Mark, who is in charge of our school programming, does a great job of there's 5 or 6 different titles that he goes through. Crime scene analysis or crime scene investigation is definitely the most popular. But he goes through and it will explain. So if you're doing the history, he will talk about the history of the Northwest Mounted Police, which then became the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. As I said, you can do crime scenes. So he does some fingerprinting kits with the kids when they are coming actually into the center. And then he's got a great platform to be able to do some of those virtual ones as well, where he will pick a certain showcase within the galleries and talk to the students about that, or have a little bit more of a PowerPoint. And we're about to get our on patrol sessions back up and going again. So that was a new program that we put together last year to reach out to our school kids. And it takes us through different avenues that the RCMP have as far as careers and training and opportunities that maybe not everybody knows. So our first on patrol we did in January, I believe it was, of 2023, and that one was called Policing in the North. So we actually partnered with the most northernmost detachment of the RCMP, and they were able to share with us and give us some insight and look into what their daily life looks like as far as trying to police, doing things. They actually have to go out on snowmobiles to do their patrols, because there is a large part of the Arctic and that upper part of Canada, of course, that you can't actually get a vehicle or a cruiser out there. So they do some of their patrolling on snowmobiling, which was really cool and interesting to learn about. Our second one we did was about the emergency response team, the ERT team. So Jeff and his crew in Winnipeg took us through their facility and showed us what it looks like. What are some of the drills that they do? How do they clear a room when they're going in? What are those practice sessions? Showed us the drones. They rappelled down a wall with one of the canine attached to them. It was absolutely fantastic. They were great, as were the northern folks as well, but it just was very interactive with Jeff and his team with the ERT to be able to see some of those things that we watch on TV, but got to see some of the behind the scenes look of what that really looks like for the day in the life of an RCMP officer who is on the ERT team.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was really interesting.
Do RCMP, like currently, let's think about what's going on in Canada in general. Like we have fires going on like crazy this summer. We have lots of interesting things going up north with like the environment. Do you think that more and more people are getting like having to work up north, or is that kind of the RCMP life? Is there less, or I don't even know how many RCMP would be up there, and what it just seems crazy to there'd probably be only like 10 people, but there isn't. I guess there's more.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, that a lot of the RCMP does do those rural detachments, and that is right across Canada. So I don't have the absolute numbers. I know there are quite a few of them that go up north, and there were a couple of them that I was speaking with this summer that were coming through the center that they were going up to do like vacation relief or what have you. So they would go up and spend a month in some of these northern detachments, and for any of them that had been there before, they were excited about going back. They're very happy about, they said it's a very interesting world up there, that it's a great community. It's a lot of different things like that, which we see in our rurals down here, but there's just a lot of work with the community and the people and learning different things, and all of them that have been up north seem to really enjoy it, and that's the ones that like to go back and do certain sprints or coverages or go up to help out if it's needed.
The RCMP definitely have a community culture, and I find that like myself coming from a family with RCMP roots, it's a sense of pride. So being able to show people all across Canada what's really going on, that's a huge thing. Technology is wonderful.
It is, for sure, and yes, they are very much a community, and that's what we are trying to be, we are and trying to be a part of our community at the Heritage Center as well, to tell their story, be able to share with people what happens with the RCMP, the history, how it all came about, and then of course to share our piece of that with the different things that we can offer to just, I guess, spice it up a little bit or give a little bit more of a hands-on interaction like we do with the kids with doing fingerprinting or footprints or showing that side of things.
Very interesting. I have to say the whole center is special to my heart. I actually got married right across from the gift store, and we were in the chapel, my hubby and I, on New Year's Eve. This is like 12 years ago now almost. So it was a long time ago, but I tell you, you are in one of the most beautiful buildings in Regina and representing something that a lot of us, with that background are so proud of. So I think you're doing a wonderful job, and it's really good to see like a momentum going on in that spot that I haven't seen in a long time. So I really thank you. And another thing I have to thank you for is you really put a chance on me with QC Gifts. And when I first started my business and I was coming around with my tourism items, you took the time to really listen to this mom that was, trying to manifest something. And I really thank you for your time. That meant a lot.
Oh, you're very welcome. I have always been in retail. That has been where I have spent the majority of my life, but I haven't always had the opportunity to do the buying or to influence what actually goes into a shop. So that's a very exciting part of my job as well, is to be able to go in, and the team there was very welcoming and fantastic, and just, it's kind of like just make a decision, and if there's something that maybe doesn't sell that well, it's not the end of the world. We tried something and we can, start back again or try something else. So my boss has been really great about being able to try some different things or to bring some different pieces in, and then just listening to the people who are there. So I had started to hear that, we didn't have a lot of tourism items around the city too much anymore, or that, people were looking for those things like I Love Regina shirts or what have you. So I looked at it from the perspective of we are the RCMP Heritage Center. We want to make sure that we are still portraying that in our giftware.
Mm-hmm.
So that branded product that has the RCMP crest or the horse and rider is still very prominent. But I've brought in some different product lines and tried to work with local people, or at least Saskatchewan people, to be able to bring in some different things. So QC Gifts for sure was a great one that we've brought in. We've worked with South 40 Design. She's got some really interesting pieces. We work with a lot of different ones. It's been very interesting to learn that there's a lot of RCMP officers that in their retirement have built businesses or have something that they're doing. So there's a few different product lines there that we carry.
Why don't you tell us about the canine line that you carry?
The Support Retired Legends is a line that we carry that is brought to us by a couple of retired members. There is the Canine Coffee, which is a retired member who has that love of coffee and has developed a line where they roast the beans. You can get it in beans or ground, and their friends started the clothing line, so it's called Support Retired Legends. And the product line is fantastic. It's all comfortable clothing. It's got their logo on it. And the great thing about it is that it actually helps the canine dogs in their retirement. So there is a charity that is called Ned's Wish that was started by a retired RCMP member who was one of the dog handlers. And the dogs themselves don't have the benefits that a human RCMP officer do. So in their retirement, of course, they can have ailments, they can have things that they have, maybe surgeries, they maybe need medicines, just based on the amount of physical activity and what they do in their day-to-day job as canine dogs. So she started the charity that you can register your retired canine, and they will help you with the medical bills or some of the different pieces that are needed as the dog goes into retirement but still has years of life to live. So Support Retired Legends and Canine Coffee both give a portion of their sales back to Ned's Wish to help support. And then every year Ned's Wish also does a calendar that we always carry in the gift shop as well, where the full proceeds go back to those canine units.
I love that. Are there any other? Can you share more? I love this sort of stuff.
Yeah, I've got a product line called Bullets and Beads, which is a current member. She is serving in the BC area, and it's a line of bracelets, necklaces, jewelry that she does, and she uses spent bullets. So it'll be either be the bullet itself or it'll be the rim of the bullet, and that's what she uses on her pieces with the beads. So it's a great product line. They're beautiful. They're absolutely gorgeous pieces. And she gives a percentage of her proceeds back to different PTSD and those types of charities throughout, because that's when she learned that beading was kind of saved her. So she was on a leave of absence from her job. She had been doing, well, as you can imagine, there are different avenues and centers, or I guess units within the RCMP that you definitely can't necessarily drop at the door when you come home. So she was working with one of the crimes against children units, and she took a leave of absence, and she found that making bracelets and doing beading was very therapeutic. So she ended up building this business out of it, and it is actually all veterans that work for her, and they hand make these pieces, and she has built an incredible business out of it. So we carry the Bullets and Beads line in the store as well.
So are these like jewelry pieces?
They're like beaded bracelets. They're the earrings are the rim of the bullet, and then they've got like a or not a diamond, a stone in them. There's the cufflinks. So there's men's and ladies for that product line, and she's been featured on. She's done some specifically for some movie sets, and she's been featured on the Emmys, and so she's got quite the following.
That's fantastic. It's not even just like, obviously cultural is fantastic, but then you're supporting and you're recycling by using even like things that might have just gone to the waste.
Exactly.
Wonderful. It's very interesting. Regina and Saskatchewan, like, we come up with some of the most beautiful art. I think it's because of our winters, because we're stuck at home for, a portion of the year where, you kind of want to use your hands, and, I think it gives us the opportunity to, make things like that.
We have a lot of gifted and creative people in our community, in our province, well, in Canada across, but because if you ever check out any of these little craft markets like Wintergreen, or you go to Bazart or anything like that, there are some amazing things that people that could be your next door neighbor are making with fibers, recycled pieces. Metal is a big one to recycle and make into different figurines or statues or whatever that looks like. So it's definitely a great thing to be looking at as far as the recycling piece goes, but the creativity is just nothing short of amazing.
I love walking through those kinds of shows, and you're like, how did you even think of making that? Like, they're all well done and beautiful. I think having been at shows myself with QC Gifts, it really, you do have to we set the bar high, and I like that, because Regina and Saskatchewan, we always, are humble and kind, but we don't shout from the rooftops how nice some of our stuff is. So I like to do that, and I think your gift store does that, and I think that's fantastic.
And there's a lot of things that people don't realize about Saskatchewan, I think, for the most part, and they feel that it is just this flat, open prairie, which for certain it is in certain parts of our province, but even just like you say, the pictures, the photos, the different items that you can make that depict what it is to be Saskatchewan, whether it's looking at a canola field, whether it's a tiger lily. We're unfortunately losing our elevators in most of our small towns, but that has always been a symbol of who we are as well. So all of those pieces are featured prominently quite often in a lot of the different things that you see that are Saskatchewan.
So how are you guys getting prepared for the Christmas season? I bet you that's a pretty busy time.
It certainly is. There's a lot that I want to continue to grow within the shop itself, and kind of have it more of a prominence within our community, where it's not just our tourists that are coming to see us, but that our community is coming to see what we have that's new and exciting as well. So I'm going to do a Mistletoe Market this year. So
how fun is that?
I'm putting together a shopping event that's going to happen on November 25th. So we're going to kick off the season of giving. So you can come in and enjoy our festive marketplace with all your favorite local vendors. It is the season of giving, and Christmas is only a blink away at that point. It's loaded with an assortment of goodies under one roof. Finding unique gifts for everyone on your list will be easy. Plus, in the spirit of giving for the season, we're collecting non-perishable items for Regina Food Bank.
That's fantastic. So we can go there November 25th, and your gift shop, is it going to just be in the shop, or I understand you're going to have extra stuff going on?
Yeah, so the gift shop itself, I'm going to expand into our heritage room, which is one of our beautiful rooms in the facility. So we're going to kind of set it up similar to a trade show, where we'll have some tables, we'll have some racks, just to expand the collections a little bit. We do have some of our local vendors who are going to be coming in and setting up as well, to give it just a little bit more atmosphere and a little bit more excitement. And yeah, just try and, get the word out, have people come and check us out, see what's happening. And a lot of, as we've talked about, a lot of our products are, those vendors are giving back to different charities or different organizations. So we think that's a fantastic way to continue to give back, and then we'll give back as well if we have the public bringing in some non-perishable items for the food bank also.
And what a worthy cause right now. They're saying that people are going to the food bank in droves compared to what it used to be like. So people, remember when you're coming to the craft show on November 25th to just bring a couple non-perishable items, and that will get you into the show, and you can check out a lot of local products and RCMP products from across Canada that are supporting the K9 unit, the retired people of RCMP, I'm assuming. And also for QC Gifts, I have to plug mine a little. My gifts, a lot of them, I work with Saskability, so we're able to give back to the community or local artists that are on our products. So I really think that when we're thinking about gifts this season, we have to go local. And I think that going to a shop like yours is such a great location for people to go to if you're in the North End. And then they can pop in and see some of the exhibits that are going on during this time. Is there an exhibit going on during November or December?
We will, in addition to our regular 6 galleries that we have, we do have our special feature exhibit that is on right now as well. It's called 150 Artifacts for 150 Years, as the RCMP celebrated 150 years in our country on May 23rd of this year. So
wow.
It's a very cool exhibit. The team has done a great job of putting that together to showcase some different items. There is one item for every year of the 150 years that the RCMP have been around. And in keeping with the pulp culture of what's happening at this time and who has been big, there actually is an RCMP Barbie that is on display.
Shush! They made an RCMP Barbie?
There was an RCMP Barbie
what
that
year?
was made. Off the top of my head, I don't remember. You'll have to come and check out the exhibit to go and see and find out when RCMP Barbie was brought out. But yes, we have an RCMP Barbie.
Oh, that's so cool. I really love that. Well, I can't thank you enough for what you do, because I can tell you take your time when you're thinking about what's in the shop. It's just not a fluff. You are like building something, and you're building a little community of people that are like-minded and people that want to support the RCMP and our community. And I just want to thank you again, Della, for all that you do. And for those of you, just a quick reminder, November 25th. What time does it start at?
November 25th, it will be from 11 to 4. So when we open our doors at 11, we will be ready to go for that date. There is no admission to come into shopping the Mistletoe Market. There would be an admission if you choose to go into the galleries at that time. But the only thing that we're asking is that if you're able to, you bring a non-perishable item so that we can support the food bank. And then in supporting us, you will support some of those vendors who are giving back, and you're supporting the Heritage Center and our ability to move forward and bring programming to the community, as well as we are a nonprofit. So it just is giving and helping all the way around in a season of giving.
Well, thank you so much for coming by today, and thank you to those of you that are listening. You guys take care out there. Bye now.